the Palestinian question. I would like to welcome the agenda is Deputy Prime Ministers, Ministers and other high-level representatives present in the Security Council chamber. Distinguished Deputy Prime Ministers, Ministers and other high-level representatives present in the Security Council chamber. Your presence today now in accordance with Rule 37 of the Subject Council's Provisional Rules of Procedure. I invite the representatives with Rule 37 Indonesia, of the Council's Provisional Rules of Procedure, Jordan, I invite Qatar, the representatives Saudi Arabia, of Egypt, the Syrian Arab Republic, Israel, Turkey, and Jordan, the United Arab Emirates to participate Saudi Arabia in this meeting. The Syrian Arab Republic, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates to participate in this meeting. It is so decided. And in accordance with Rule 39 of the Council's Provisional Rules of Procedures, I invite the following briefers in accordance to participate with Rule 39 of the Council's Provisional Rules of Procedures. Undersecretary General, I invite the following briefers and peace-building affairs in this meeting. Ms. Hiba, Ms. Rosemary DiCarlo, founding Undersecretary General of the Principles for Peace-Building Affairs. And Mr. Nadav Tamir, Executive Director of J Street of the Principles for Peace Foundation. It is so decided. Mr. Nadav Tamir, Executive Director of J Street, Israel. It is so decided.
We seem to be having a technical issue with our signal from this live event. We are working to resolve the issue, and we hope to resume our live coverage shortly. Unfortunately, we are still having technical issues, and we're not able to resolve the problem with our live feed from this event. We hope to have this for you in its entirety later on our program schedule.
Welcome to today's Washington Journal. Let's start with this article from multistate.us, and it says this: the policy trends emerging from Governor's State of the State addresses. Now, this is dated February 4th, so there have been a few more, but what they did was they tracked how many mentions a governor mentioned a particular issue. And what came up on top was immigration, all perspectives, and then followed closely by roads and bridges, so infrastructure issues, and then education, specifically higher education. Well, here is Governor Jim Pillen. He's a Republican of Nebraska. He's talking about the issue of immigration.
Our partnerships with President Trump and his cabinet are also keeping Nebraskans and families around our country safe. Because of our shared commitment to border security and immigration enforcement, Nebraska became one of the first states in the nation to establish an ICE detention facility to help get criminal, illegal aliens off of our streets. We have a simple message. Nebraska is proud to be doing our part to get the border secure and to protect America's kids from criminals, from trafficking people, from gang violence, and the drugs like fentanyl and meth. The need for going after these criminal illegal aliens could not be more clear than today. Right here in Nebraska, just a few weeks ago, we have seen several examples of the danger these individuals are creating and the cartel terrorists and the criminal organizations they support and the threats they pose to our country and our communities. One recent incident in Omaha demonstrated not only their danger, but also showcased the great risks that our men and women in blue face every day, every time they put their uniform on.
We will leave this here, but you can finish watching it with the free C-SPAN Now app. To New York City now, where the United Nations Security Council is meeting to discuss the situation in Gaza. This is live coverage on C-SPAN 2.
In aid access and delivery. Still, the vast majority of Gaza's population remains displaced and continues to endure extremely harsh living conditions. Humanitarian operations in Gaza have continued amid severe constraints. Scaled-up entry of shelter materials, educational supplies, and medical equipment, among other items, is urgently required. The UN and its partners are expanding efforts to stabilize and rehabilitate essential systems and services as a bridge for longer-term recovery. The opening of the Rafah crossing to pedestrian movement in both directions on 2 February was a welcome development. The UN team on the ground is working closely with local and international stakeholders to promote a safe, dignified environment at the crossing and enable those in need to access medical assistance. The UN supported the medical evacuation of many patients and received hundreds of returnees. Thousands still urgently require treatment unavailable in Gaza. We remain committed to supporting the implementation of Security Council Resolution 2803 and all relevant resolutions. Madam President, despite the ceasefire, Gaza is still not at peace. In recent weeks, the Israeli military intensified strikes across Gaza, hitting densely populated areas and killing dozens of Palestinians. Airstrikes were particularly heavy on 31 January and in early February. Armed exchanges between Palestinian armed groups and Israeli soldiers have also continued. In the occupied West Bank, meanwhile, the situation is deteriorating rapidly. There, Israeli forces continued large-scale operations across the West Bank, frequently involving live fire and raising serious concerns about the use of lethal force. Widespread raids have been accompanied by home takeovers, mass detentions, movement restrictions, and repeated displacement of Palestinian families, particularly in the north. Attacks by Palestinians against Israelis and confrontations between Palestinian and Israeli security forces have also continued. Israeli authorities also expanded operations in areas around Jerusalem and extended their operations in the northern West Bank. These developments unfolded alongside continued settlement expansion, rising settler violence, and accelerated demolitions and evictions in East Jerusalem. We are witnessing the gradual de facto annexation of the West Bank as unilateral Israeli steps steadily transform